Hello, you're watching the English News Bulletin on QPVN channel. I'm Nguyen, and now let me keep you up to date with the headlines. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính meets with the overseas Vietnamese community in Kuwait. Vietnam attends Dubai AIRSHOW. New model boosts bilateral trade between Vietnam and the U.S. On November the 17th at Hanoi National University of Education, President Lương Cường attended the ceremony to celebrate Vietnamese Teachers' Day, November the 20th, and the 8th Patriotic Emulation Congress of the Education Sector. Lieutenant General Lê Quang Đạo, Deputy Chief of the General Staff, attended the event. Lauding the outstanding achievements of the education sector in recent times, President Lương Cường expressed his deep gratitude to the contributions of senior educators and generations of teachers across the country. He affirmed that education and training is the top national policy to realize the 200-year strategic goals of Vietnam. The education sector and the whole society is asked to strive so that Vietnam's national education system will rank among the top 20 countries in the world by 2045. The education sector needs to focus on improving institutions, removing bottlenecks to unlock resources to promote innovation and create educational development. The president noted that moral education is put on top priority, then come education about knowledge and skills. The education sector needs to persistently build a school culture, promote comprehensive digital transformation, strongly apply digital technology and artificial intelligence, continue to improve university education, create breakthroughs in developing high-quality human resources, to have talented people to lead in research and innovation in the whole country. During his official visit to Kuwait, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, his spouse, and the high-ranking Vietnamese delegation visited the staff of Vietnamese representative offices and the Vietnamese community in Kuwait. The Prime Minister said his visit carries significant meaning as Vietnam and Kuwait maintain good friendship and effective cooperation. Both sides will discuss elevating their bilateral relationship to a higher level and are set to sign a series of key cooperation agreements, praising the Vietnamese and Kuwait for their solidarity, mutual support, and efforts to build stable lives and integrate into the host society. He stressed that the party and state always pay close attention to overseas Vietnamese, seeing them as inseparable part, vital lifeblood, and key resource of the nation. The party and state have implemented numerous policies concerning overseas Vietnamese to safeguard their rights and interests and provide them with the greatest possible convenience. Also on November the 17th, General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, attended the Great National Unity Festival at Phu Nhân Quarter, Long An Ward, Tây Ninh Province. Joining local residents at the festival, General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa congratulated Tây Ninh Province in general and Long An Ward in particular on their socio-economic achievements. Since the early year, the province's socio-economic development has undergone progresses, especially after the merger of Long An and Tây Ninh provinces, which helps open up new development space. Highlights include budget revenue reaching more than $1 billion, strong national defense and security, and improved living standards for residents. General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa urged provincial departments and sectors to continue renewing their operational methods, strengthening the core role of the Vietnam Fatherland Front's chapter and social political organizations, and building the great national unity bloc. He emphasized the need for close engagement with the people, attentive listening, deep understanding, and timely resolution of legitimate public concerns. Later that day, General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa visited and inspected affiliated agencies and units under the General Political Department in the south. The mission was joined by Senior Lieutenant General Lê Quang Minh, Vice Chairman of the General Political Department. He inspected facilities and mission performance at those units. for the representative office of the Army Broadcasting Center and other military press agencies in Ho Chi Minh City, he acknowledged their timely and effective dissemination of the party's guidelines, state policies and laws, as well as military and defense activities. Visiting Hakota Company Limited, Military Printing Company No. 2, the southern chapter of the Army Theater, Campus 2 of the Military University of Culture and Arts, Regiment 34, and the Department of Military Internal Security Protection. The chairman of the General Political Department requested party committees and unit commanders to further enhance the professional competence for officers and staff and strengthen discipline and workplace culture. He also directed units to continue advancing military administrative reform and the application of modern technologies in their operational duties. At the invitation of the Ministry of Defense of the United Arab Emirates, a high-ranking delegation of the Vietnamese Ministry of National Defense, led by CHINH Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Minister of National Defense, attended the Dubai Airshow in Dubai. At the exhibition, CHINH Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến and the delegation visited the booth and met with defense enterprises of the UAE and other countries. He suggested that the countries in Vietnam promote exchanges, explore cooperation potential in accordance with the capacity of each side, and agree on the direction to promote defense industry cooperation in the coming time. In the working program, on the afternoon of November the 17th, CHINH Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến witnessed the signing ceremony of the MOU between the Military Industry Telecoms Group VIET and the UAE's EDGE Group. Deputy Minister Hoàng Xuân Chiến suggested that the two sides continue to maintain contact and coordinate closely to concretize the agreed contents in the coming time. After completing theoretical training, the Vietnam-India Bilateral Army Exercise on UN Peacekeeping Operations in 2025, or VINBAX 2025 for short, moved on to practical training from November the 17th to the 21st. Road construction and maintenance is one of the key tasks of the military engineering force when deployed to UN missions, and this is also an important training content of the military engineering class within the framework of the VINBAX 2025. During the practical training phase, the two countries' training forces are divided into their respective classes on military engineering, military medicine, and military observer, provided with practical skills through field training on such basic issues as road construction and maintenance, helipad construction, explosives clearance, collapse response, and search and rescue for the military engineering class. The handling of such medical situations as chest trauma management, first aid and transfer, heat shock treatment, infectious diseases for the medical class, civilians protections, conflict-related sexual violence prevention, children protection, security and safety maintenance for peacekeeping forces for the military observer class. The practical training scenarios are built on the basis of inheriting experience from situations that UN staff often face when deployed to UN peacekeeping missions, with an aim to equip necessary knowledge and skills to improve the capacity for Vietnamese and Indian prospective peacekeepers. On November the 17th, Lieutenant General Lê Quang Đạo, Deputy Chief of the General Staff, Head of the Ministry of National Defense Steering Committee on Combating RUU Fishing, attended a conference held by the Vietnam Coast Guard Command to draw experience after implementing a peak month for combating illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, or RUU. Despite the complicated weather conditions at sea over the past month, the Vietnam Coast Guard has coordinated with functional forces to develop and implement a plan to mobilize forces and means to increase patrols and control, boost dissemination against the RUU fishing to nearly 10,000 fishing vessels, and distribute nearly 26,000 leaflets and legal handbooks. The force has detected and handled over 300 RUU cases. Lieutenant General Lê Quang Đạo asked the forces to strengthen close coordination with local authorities, boost dissemination and measures to prevent other violations to soon remove the EC's yellow card. Coming up next, Vietnam leaves impression at 2025 International Charity Bazaar. New model boosts bilateral trade between Vietnam and the U.S. The International Week of the Russian Language in Asia was held recently by the Russian Center for Science and Culture in Hanoi, attracting the participation of nearly 100 delegates from 14 Asian countries. The curriculum includes 2 phases of online and offline classes. The online learning phase took place from November 3rd to the 16th, including interactive lectures, practice, and advanced lessons, focusing on modern approaches, applying digital technology in teaching. From November the 17th to the 19th, the program moved on to a direct format in Hanoi, with a series of in-depth lectures, roundtable discussions on Russian language studies in the region, and an exhibition and introduction of new educational materials from different publishers. This is an annual international event aiming to promote the teaching and learning of the Russian language and culture, while creating a forum for experience exchange and development orientation of the Russian language training in Asia. Recently, the Hilton Hotel in Prague, Czech Republic, bustled with thousands of visitors attending the 2025 International Charity Bazaar, an inspiring annual cultural and humanitarian event. Bringing together representatives from more than 40 countries, the event was held under the patronage of the First Lady of the Czech Republic, Eva Pavlova, with the participation of several senior officials, including Minister of Justice Eva Daquaz. The event was aimed at raising funds for charitable organizations across the Czech Republic. More than a venue for cultural exchange, the event served as an opportunity for participating countries to showcase their cuisine, handicrafts, traditional specialties, and distinctive cultural features. Vietnam's booth drew significant attention from attendees. They were invited to explore the country's culture, cuisine, and handicraft, presented by the spouses and staff of the Vietnamese embassy in the Czech Republic. This year, the Vietnamese booth featured a diverse selection of signature products, including exquisitely crafted handicraft rich in Vietnamese identity, along with Vietnamese coffee and dishes. Minister Councilor Nguyễn Diệu Linh, together with embassy staff and their families, contributed to creating a welcoming and colorful cultural space that effectively promotes Vietnam's images to international friends. The fair attracted around 3,000 visitors and generated more than $82,000, expected to be allocated to 23 charitable organizations in the Czech Republic. VIET Technology Group Joint Stock Company, or VIET Group for short, has officially established long-term strategic trade partnerships with major international brands, introducing a new model to promote bilateral trade between Vietnam and the U.S. through VIET Network, a multimedia social platform developed by the group. At the signing ceremony held in Washington, D.C. on November 14th, VIET Group and its comprehensive logistics partner, In-Law Corporation, announced a 10-year cooperation strategy 2025-2035 with the goal of achieving $50 billion in two-way trade. Notably, for the 2025-2026 period, the parties aim for a total two-way trade value of $1 billion, including $500 million worth of Vietnamese exports to the U.S. and $500 million worth of U.S. products imported into Vietnam. The event marked a significant milestone as the two sides signed their first order worth $100 million. Under this strategy, VIET Network serves as the core platform connecting the two markets, promoting direct cultural and commercial exchange and boosting exports in both directions. The cooperation framework is built on the 3 pillars of retail, logistics, and digital platforms. VIET Network links consumers, enterprises, and investors. In-Law ensures a full cross-border supply chain from transportation and warehousing to domestic delivery, and commercial partners supply products, including authentic U.S. goods for the VIET marketplace. And that's all for now. Remember, you can always watch news again at QPVN.vn. Now, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.